Welcome back. Summer calling tomorrow's Orange Bowl game the Shalala Bowl, recognizing the influence that Donna Shalala has had on both schools. The former UW chancellor spoke to an alumni gathering in the Miami area this morning after adding to her UW clothing collection. After arriving in Madison back in 1988, she hired new athletic director Pat Richter and then new football coach Barry Alvarez. It turned the football program around. She left the UW to spend 8 years in President Clinton's cabinet, then became president of the University of Miami, where she still teaches. Our Melissa Kim asked her about Coach Barry Alvarez and the Badgers. It's all new tonight at 10.
What do you remember the most about Barry when he first walked in the door?
That he wanted the job. He wanted the job so badly. He didn't have a lawyer. He didn't have an agent. He came in with his with the contract and said where to sign. And I said, Barry, do you have a representative here? Have you read the contract? He said, I want the job. What I really did was hire Pat Richter first. And then Pat and I zeroed in on Barry Alvarez. Pat said to me, always hire a defensive coordinator because they understand the offense. I don't know whether that was true. I have no idea. And certainly at that time, I did not fully understand football or hiring coaches. So I was very dependent on a set of people around me who were former players. And in this case, we had an athletic director by that time who really understood the game and understood the level we wanted to take Wisconsin to.
Now, for you personally, I mean, you've had quite a journey, I think, since you left Wisconsin.
Well, I left Wisconsin reluctantly. If it hadn't been the President of the United States sort of grabbing me by the arm and saying, you have to join me in Washington, I would never have left. I actually didn't want to leave. I love Wisconsin. I love living there. I'm a Midwesterner. I grew up in Ohio. So it was a very comfortable place. And it was an awful lot of fun to lead Wisconsin. And I had a great relationship with the governor, the Republican governor, Tommy Thompson. And he was very helpful in terms of navigating our way through legislative politics. Remember, we built the biotech industry during that time. After that, you know, I went off to join the cabinet, and I stayed for 8 years, and then I was looking for a college presidency again, because what I loved to do was to lead institutions that had lots of young people.
What is it about being around young people, leading these institutions, that's so appealing to you?
Well, first of all, they keep you young. I know more about music than certainly any of my peers. The faculty are always a challenge, whether they're at Wisconsin or at the University of Miami. Wisconsin, of course, has some magnificent faculty and has needed investment over the years. And I weep for the lack of investment, but I think the people in Wisconsin recognize that they have a great university and they really need to invest in it.
Now, what was your favorite part about being at Madison, being in that area?
If you ask a college president what their favorite part is, it's graduation. Because you feel like you've done something. And I think that at Wisconsin, I had an opportunity to really get to know the people in the state. That's, in fact, how I focused on football. When I first got there, the alumni director was a man named Arlie Mucks. And he was a pilot, and the governor let us use his plane, but you had to have 2 pilots. But Arlie knew everyone in the state. Farmers would tell me as we went around the state that they would stop in their fields to listen to Badger football games. I figured if it was important to them, it had to be important to the chancellor, and that I had to take a good hard look at what we were doing with our athletic programs.
Now, Donna isn't making any predictions about the outcome of tomorrow's game. She says she will split her time during the game between the 2 schools and says she is a winner either way.